Hello, I'm Mo Augusto, and I'm the founder of M.O.T, the fashion brand. Today, we're celebrating the launch of our summer collection, and in doing that, we'll be speaking with a woman that we find inspirational and aspirational. Sisi Yemmie is a content creator, a food and lifestyle blogger, and a cookbook author. She has over 1 million subscribers and 128 million views. She also launched sisiyemmie.com in 2011 and has built a community by sharing her passion for Nigerian nutrition and providing her audience with accessible and delicious Nigerian recipes. I like to say that she has raised a whole generation of us millennial cooks. She is a pioneer and was even described as brilliant by the King of England, King Charles, and was profiled by CNN Africa as one of the women who has struck gold on social media. Sisi Yemmie, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate you doing this. And like I said, you are someone that I consider really, really inspirational and aspirational. One of the things that I haven't said is that while doing all these things, you have birthed 5 children. And honestly, I want to start with getting to know you. Before we get into that. What is your typical day like? Just like walk us through.
I like the fact that my typical day is not doing the same thing.
Okay.
But typically, it would involve getting ready for school in the morning for the kids, packing lunch boxes. Once they go to school, I rest a bit. If the sun is out, I get my ingredients. I might go to I would prefer to go to the market, but now I'm like, there's no even time to even do that part, right? So outsource the shopping to somebody else. But I'm very particular about what I get. Like, this is how the tomatoes must look like. Yeah. This is how the pepper must look like. And sometimes people don't take extra care and stuff like that. So I miss the part of picking exactly what I want.
Are you doing this for the content or to feed your family?
Content.
And
after the content, they get to eat it. So it's both actually. So after filming, if I film, hopefully I finish filming. Sometimes I don't finish the recipe. Depends on what's happening. But if it's a good day, I finish my recipe. I take it to the computer and try to start editing maybe before the kids get back from school. We start doing lunch. By the time they get back, it's over. It's
Literally.
Gone. It's gone.
That's the end of your day.
Everybody needs something from you till the end of the day. By the time it's the end of the day, I'm exhausted. Typically, once it's the end of the day, I actually go back to my computer. But now I am trying to be more mindful. So I tell myself, look for something on TV and relax. People relax in the evenings. Yeah. Leave the work. Tomorrow you continue. So that's what my typical day looks like. So these days I'm trying to maybe sit in front of the TV, look for a series. I'm not really big on TV like that. So maybe look for a Yoruba movie to watch. And I love them because you're not really thinking deep. It's just people talking and you can just like space out while it's playing.
That's the point of TV.
So it's just to relax, really. And I do that. I call it a day. Oh, and then I go back to bed and press my phone a bit.
You scroll on TikTok
till I fall asleep. Yeah.
Do you sleep? How many hours of sleep do you get?
Last night I believe I slept well. I take it one day at a time. I just started sleeping well now. For the past couple of months, it's not been, before the twins started solids, it's not been easy because they wake up at night for milk. But now, once I give them porridge or eba at night, I know till tomorrow morning before I see you. Exactly. So I sleep better now.
So how many hours is that?
7, 8.
That's good.
Yeah.
Someone with 5 children sleeps 8 hours.
Because I try to get everybody in bed by 7. That's my goal. 7, 8.
Incredibly disciplined. You might not know.
I'm not so, because the children, they refuse to go. But to me, that's the time my house closes.
Yeah.
Closes by 7, 8. Everybody upstairs. Go. If they're with their dad, right? So I'm with the twins downstairs. So to me, that's when the twins go to bed. By 8, they should be sleeping on a normal day.
Yeah.
And then from 8, my day has kind of ended. And if I play for a little bit, by 11, 12, I can sleep. And then I before I used to try to wake up by 5, 4. But I realized I'm not an early morning person. I rather sleep in the morning. So stay up later, then wake up by 6:30 and start scrambling.
6:30 is sleeping in.
Yeah. What? See, I can't remember the last time I slept till like 10. If I sleep till 10, maybe I'm sick.
Fair.
And I've not experienced that in years.
Yeah, fair.
No, I won't be able to.
So you do the morning routine with your kids?
Yeah. I try.
I thought, because when you said sleeping, I thought you were going to say that you sleep until like 8 or 9 a.m. and you have like a support system that helps like with morning routine and takes the kids to school.
I have someone that helps, but she helps with like making sure they're rushing to take their bath and stuff like that.
And you're still waking up at 6:30.
And I still have to wake up because even the twins, they're early risers. They wake up immediately. They wake up like 7 maximum, unless they're really tired.
How old are the twins now?
They're going to be 1 this month.
Oh, yay!
Yes.
We're going to have a little Instagram party. What would you say is your superpower?
I believe, I don't want to say this, but maybe I work well under pressure. Most of my finest work was done when I was stressed out and under a lot of pressure, but I don't want to continue like that. Stress is not good. So I'm always last minute. So my superpower is just getting things done just before they expire, just before the deadline. Yeah, that's it.
And what superpower do you wish you had?
Oh, I wish I had. I wish I could be everywhere all at once.
That's so real.
I wish I could be everywhere right now in the house, right now here, and then somewhere else filming. I wish I could be doing everything at the same time.
Yeah. That makes sense.
You wish the same, right?
Well, I wish I didn't need to sleep.
Oh, sleep is good.
Sleep is good, but sleep it's a waste of time.
It's a waste of time.
I wish I didn't need to sleep and I didn't need to eat.
Okay, no, that eats. I'm not there with you.
I can eat because I want to, but my body shouldn't depend on food and sleep. Both are a complete waste of time. I have too much to do.
Wow.
I'm thinking about food, making it, eating it, buying groceries.
You know, now that you put it like that, I feel like I spend a lot of my time thinking about food. What to eat, what to cook.
Yeah. And
as I'm eating, I'm thinking about the next meal.
Well, that explains your career.
Like,
I wish I was like that.
It's interesting that there are people that are not like that. I can't believe it. Like, there are people that are not thinking about food. Like, I'm thinking as I leave here, what I want to eat and what I want to drink, what I was supposed to drink before coming here. And I got distracted.
I haven't thought about food today.
Eh?
I actually haven't. And I probably won't.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe people are different.
Yes, we are.
Wow. It must be interesting. So when you're not thinking about food, what are you thinking about?
My daughter.
Okay.
Her food, maybe. But just everything to do with her. The work I'm doing right now.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I wonder why I think about food a lot then.
Because that's what you do.
Is it because that's what I do?
It's a calling.
Okay, it must be a calling.
It's a calling.
Food. We thank God that food can now be a calling. Because back in the day, I don't know what you do with the talent of thinking about food.
No, absolutely. Yeah. But what would you say has been your biggest success factor so far?
God. You know how they say, when you ask Nigerians, how did your business make it? It's God. Because when I think about all the obstacles and everything in the way, the challenges.
What are some of those obstacles?
I think for me it was everything because I had to learn everything by myself. When I started, there's no funding. You have to learn how to film without a tripod, gather all your books and put them and set a cup and put your camera. You have to learn how to do those things. So from like no funding to from being a nobody to be someone that's creating content online to gain that visibility. I remember when I just started, I was sending emails to media houses like, I want to be an intern, I want to work with you, I want to do this. And there's not a lot of opportunity for that, right? And I quickly realized my advantages and my disadvantages at the time. So, and I just built from scratch, really. So every day, you just do something that helps you and gives you an advantage. But I didn't get a lot of advantages. So,
yeah. How often do you evaluate your progress?
Every day.
That's intense.
I can be hard on myself every day. By the time I'm going to bed, I'm like, once again, you did not write the recipe today, did you? No, you did not. And then I pat myself on the back. Your children are healthy. Everybody is fine.
Important.
There's time. You still have time. I feel like I just encourage myself these days, like, you still have time. There's a project I've been working on that I was like, see, knowing who I am, give me 1 week, 2 weeks, I would have done this thing. But I have been humbled. It's been 4 years. 3 babies later, this thing has not been done. And anytime I see it, I'm just like, wow.
No, I wasn't expecting 4 years. Not that it hasn't taken me, in fact.
I don't even know how we got to this stage, right? Anytime I'm about to do it, I've done photo shoots for this project. We have taken all the photos. It's just for me to put everything together. I think that's one of my biggest challenges, right? Figuring it out because I don't know somebody that is doing it, or I don't know how to approach people that are doing it. Like, show me the way. Like, I prefer to like struggle and find the way, because it's not really easy to give out that information when you're asking, how did you do this? How did you? For some people, it's like business secrets, trade secrets. So you have to figure it out by yourself. So I think that's my biggest struggle right now, because everything for my project is ready. It's just putting it together.
So I really struggle with, what you said about trade secrets. I think it's very true, but I think it slows us down so much. And I really wish people shared a lot more information.
Yeah.
What specific things do you wish you knew? Like, you wish someone had told you?
About my career?
Yes. Like, what trade secrets do you wish someone had given to you?
How to just start a thing and get it done, instead of thinking about it and trying to perfect it and trying to be perfect. I'm always trying to get it perfect, and I waste so much time at that stage. Yeah,
I see that.
It takes so much time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I know people that I've had conversations with and we're just like, this idea. 2 days later, they've actualized the idea, and I'm still there thinking, how to make it perfect.
I can't stand people like that.
How to make it? So I'm just like, doers. Some people are just doers, and some people are, we have to make it like this. The yellow has to be this shade of yellow, and the sun has to shine this particular way on the day we're doing. But some people are doing it regardless. So, yeah.
So in the spirit of sharing tips, what top 3 tips would you give someone who was an aspiring YouTube vlogger?
Film your first video. Doesn't matter if it's rubbish. You're the only one that probably thinks it's rubbish. It does not matter. Just do it. Second thing is be consistent. And back in the day, I used to think consistency was with how frequently you did it or you did a thing. But these days, I'm saying that consistency can be in what you do, the way you show up. Okay, I'm interested in food. You people know I like food. I've been talking about food for the past 10 years, right? Not today talking about something else, next tomorrow something else, and people don't know where to place me.
Yeah.
So quickly put yourself in a niche where people can say, when I think about Nigerian food, I think about Sisi, Yemmie. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then the third one is, don't get discouraged. Just keep going. The way I look at, let's say specific to YouTube or content creation, is like playing the lottery. It could be today that you go viral. Anytime I'm creating content, I'm just like, today could be today. Your lucky day. So yeah, just keep going.
I love that. So a question I have for everyone, right, that I have this conversation with is, when you think about this current stage of your life, and I don't know, at what point you would say that this stage or this phase began, but when you think about it, how would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10?
10 being good.
Yes.
Okay.
I love that. It's like you need to clarify that.
Yes. I would say 6.9, maybe 7.
You're not allowed to say 7. I learned that somewhere, that when you give people a scale of 1 to 10, you always take out 7. They're not allowed to say 7.
6.9.
That's the same thing as 7.
6.89. 6.7. I don't know, my idea of being a grown-up, like an adult, was you get to this stage, this is supposed to happen, this is supposed to happen, this is supposed to. But I feel like the way my life is going, it's like, you're watching a series and you're like, it's getting boring.
Really?
And the producer is like, add something interesting now. Remove somebody or introduce a new character. Put new challenges. I feel like that's how my life is going. Like, it was going in my head thinking, I have all this planned out. When I am 35, this is what will happen. When I'm 40, this is what will happen. But,
So what are some of the things that you thought would happen by 40? Because you're 40 now, right?
Yeah.
What are some of the things you thought that would happen by 40 that haven't happened?
I thought I would be a billionaire. Like, it's been 40 years.
That's so funny. You said it's been 40 years.
Like, it's been such a long time.
You make it sound like you came out of your mother's womb.
I came out hustling. When I told you that my childhood, I don't think I said it well. I've been working since I was a child, right? In my mommy's shop, I would make ice cream for schools that were doing inter-house sports, and I would go and sell them there. I've been an entrepreneur since I was small.
Yeah.
I thought by now, Forbes list, one of the richest women, 40 under 40 in the world, but we're not there yet.
There's still time.
There's still time. So I like to believe there's still time, because now I'm watching videos where a lot of people are like, I didn't make it till I turned 40. I'm like,
Some people don't even start.
They don't even start till. So I'm like, okay, there's still hope.
You're doing okay.
Yeah.
But what is your path? I'm curious. What do you think is your path to $1 billion?
I don't know.
And I assume you're talking about $1 billion.
Pounds.
Pound. As long as you're not saying naira. No, because people do that and it annoys me. And I'm like, a country that has like 30% inflation year
I'm
on
telling
year, you can't use that currency to define.
Pounds. Specific. So I just thought things would be different. I actually thought I would have 2 kids. Or 1.
So, okay.
But here we are. So my life is so much different than what I thought it would be. But in terms of my career, I am doing what I've always wanted to do, even though I didn't know that's what I always wanted to do. So I'm happy with what I am doing, that it is a flexible career that allows me to choose if I go to work today, if I stay at home with the kids. It just allows me to be who I am. And if I don't want to work today, I can sleep and not wait for someone to say you can't take leaves, you can't. I would just be miserable.
Absolutely.
So I am very on. If I had to rate that, I would say 9.5 over 10 career-wise.
Career.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes
The only thing in where remain now money is the money.
It's the money.
Yeah. But
so I was saying that what's your path to your billion? What do you? You don't have to tell me like anything that's a secret, but like
how I intend to make that money.
Yes.
Food.
Because I think it's possible. I mean,
yeah, I've seen people that have made it through what I'm doing right now. I don't know. Am I in the wrong place?
You're not in the wrong place.
Is it in the wrong location?
Like, I know your industry. Oh, look. Oh.
Yeah, I'm on some days. I feel like, am I in the wrong location? Because I know people that are doing more with less than what I have.
You mean
if I was
that are not in Nigeria?
Yeah, if I was in Los Angeles right now or
with
New York with 1 million subscribers, I know what that life would be like. So on some days I'm like, am I in the right place? Am I keeping myself stuck by being here? Am I meant to be here? God, where am I meant to be?
Would you ever consider moving?
Yes.
So what is coming? So I'm actually curious as to like what you have in the works in terms of with the food industry, with the food like you're doing.
Publishing
more books.
Yeah, nice. I love books, and self-publishing is not easy. So I've been working on a couple. If you ask me, I have 10 books to publish, but they've not seen the light of day. So that could be my road to the billions. Maybe that's what's holding me back. So I just need to figure out how to do it. I have some of this book written from beginning to the end. It's just there sitting down.
Are they all recipe books?
No. Some are storybooks, children's books. Some are, there was one I was supposed to launch last year. I even did the cover, we did everything. And I was just like, oh, maybe I should give it one more year to add more experience to this book. So yeah, there's so many types of books. It's just not recipes.
Have you considered Amazon publishing?
I do have some books on
through Amazon publishing.
Yeah. Okay. But I wanted like the way in my head, like a proper book launch and the whole works with a big fat book. Yeah. So that's my road to my billions.
I'm staying tuned. Me, I think it's possible. Like there's so many people we've seen, globally who are in the same career path.
Yeah.
One thing I would say is you should consider products. Outside of books, like products.
You're in my head. How did you know?
Because that's like you watch an industry.
There's so many things I want to do. Products is okay. So I think that's the distraction, right? Because I'm like books, but something else is like products, and I'm in my head. I have products in my head, and it's just getting it to start. That's just the only thing. But the products are there. They are labeled and written
and designed.
Some.
Oh, are we talking food products? Yes. Or okay.
Food products.
Love.
I think if there's one thing I have is an abundance of ideas. And if I had to execute everyone, Oprah would be running. Like, people would be running away from me. So the ideas are there. We've written the strategy, everything. We've named everything, the products, books, products, ideas, businesses. But take a step.
Maybe you need a business partner. Would you ever get one?
Maybe I do. No, I don't have one.
I'm not saying, would you consider one?
I would. Somebody that's the opposite of me.
What is that? What is that?
I feel like I have my head in the clouds. I'm a creative. I'm just thinking about the pretty process. I need somebody that's strategic and is like, this is what we need to do. Okay, bring the idea. I will make it happen. You already have everything sorted. You have the color scheme, everything, the name, the way it will be produced. I will make it happen.
Okay, so.
Yeah. So what's that called?
A business manager.
Is that a manager?
Oh, but in form of a partnership. You need like an executive, like a business person.
Yes, a business person.
Creative person.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So you heard it here first. Sisi Yemmie is looking for a business manager.
Send me an email.
Send an email. Send your CVs, but please, serious people only.
Yes, so only.
Okay. So what outside of work, right? What would you say how do you recharge? What are your self-care practices?
I like to stay alone.
Everybody's alone. How do we all find ourselves?
Because that's when I recharge. Like, I feel like once I go out, I've given it all. I need to come back to myself. And the only way I can come back to myself is spend time by myself, with myself.
So you're an introvert?
I think I am. I think I'm a bit of both.
When you go out, do you
I am
feel
not
exhausted
really,
or are you
I'm
buzzing?
exhausted.
You're an introvert.
But I can be buzzing when I'm out. But
no, you're
I don't know how to explain it. So I'm shy. I don't like to go to crowded places. I don't like to see a lot of people.
You're an introvert, babe.
But when I am comfortable there, I can be a social butterfly.
You're an introvert. That's, sounds very
And
familiar.
people are like, how can you be shy when you film and you do what you do? I'm like, I'm just talking to the camera. I cannot film if there are people there staring at me.
Yeah.
It is just me and my camera. Yeah, so.
I'm surprised by the shyness because you're not necessarily an introvert because you're shy, but the thing of not liking the large crowds and
because I don't know what to do with them.
No, it's normal.
Yeah.
So your biggest self-care practice is just alone time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just have time for myself, doing nothing.
So this alone, even away from your kids?
That's not possible.
How do you pull that off?
But I shut the door.
Fair. How old is your oldest?
Unlock it. 10.
Oh, jeez, that's...
Turned 10 yesterday.
Yesterday? Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Well, happy birthday to you.
So 10 years in mother.
You've been doing how I guess physically though.
Yeah.
Would you say you've recovered from childbirth?
No. I don't
Did you
even
recover
know
from
I don't even know if there's
the
like total recovery. Because I feel like your body changes forever. And I've not been able to go back to my dearest size 8.
Oh no, for that.
I don't know if a size 10 is going to ever be possible. I will settle for 12. But also there's so many changes in the body that just like, the other day my daughter was like, Mommy, is your navel inside or outside? When I laugh, it comes out. When I don't laugh, it's inside. I'm like, you caused it. It's you.
Children
it is you.
And they're so honest.
Yes, and my daughter is so, oh gosh.
Is your middle child?
No, she's the second.
Oh, your second?
She's so expressive. She says everything. And I feel like she's me without censorship. That's what I would have been like if maybe my parents were not like strict and keep short and just behave like this. If I was just allowed to express myself, I would have been her. So she asks a lot of questions. Mommy, why is this? Mommy, you're looking chubby. Mommy, your tummy in this dress, I don't like it. Mommy, you're this. Mommy, you're that. So yeah, I don't think there is total recovery. You just have to love the new
version of yourself.
New version and try to improve it as much as you can. Yeah.
What does being healthy feel like for you?
As long as I'm not taking any medicine, like I don't have appointments in the hospital, and I can eat well, I'm working well, everything is going normal. I'm good. I don't want to ever have any medical issues. Health is just being in one piece.
So I have a very serious question now.
Serious?
Very serious. I want you to think about the answer. In your 40 years so far, it was like that age. I'm like, 50. What would you say is the most important lesson that you have learned, like life defining?
It's up to you to make anything happen. Like, you have the power to choose the life that you want. You're always like one choice away from a totally different life. I can grumble about, oh, there's traffic in Lagos, there's this, I can decide not to go home now and just call my children, like, meet me at the airport. We are taking a different decision.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this anymore. And you just have a different life. Maybe the people you interact with, you just stop. You can just change your life. And sometimes we feel like we're stuck in these places, or maybe with even people or in careers. Like, oh, maybe because I studied accounting, I must be an accountant for the rest of my days. And there are new things now, maybe that you're interested in and that you can do, and you're just stuck. Not because anybody is holding you down. It is your choice. So you have the power to live a totally different life. Anytime I think about it like that, I'm like, okay, yes, it's your choice that you are here doing what you're doing with the people that you're doing it with. If you want a totally different life, you can make a different decision today.
If you could ask a Nigerian woman, an older Nigerian woman, so maybe Gen X, Boomer, I don't know, any question.
Yeah.
Who would it be? And what would the question be?
I have lots of them I want to ask.
Oh, okay.
But I think I will go with Ibukun Awushika right now. Because she's a billionaire, right?
I doubt that.
She's doing
well.
good. She's doing
She's
well.
doing very well,
And she has lots of advice for your finances and all that. So I would love a one-on-one with her. And I would ask her, Ma, look at me now. Tell me the step to take.
Like how to navigate
this
career.
part, my career, this part of my career, this part of my life. Yeah, I would. But can I choose more people?
Of course. I'm curious.
I think I will also speak to, and they're Nigerian, right? I'll speak to Moabudu.
Okay.
And I'll also ask her how to build a thriving media empire the way she has. Yeah, I think those two people for now, I'll ask them.
How do you define success right now? And it's a compound question. How do you define success now? How would you define it 10 years from now? And how would you define it 20 years from now?
Okay. I define success now by having things on my own terms, living a life that is flexible on my own terms, the way I want it. And I think because of my career, I feel like I'm having that, because your career determines a big part of the way you live. So yes, that's how I would define success. Being able to do what I love, being fulfilled, and doing it on my terms. That's how I'll define it now. In the next couple of years. 10.
So when you're 50?
When I'm 50, I think I would define it by how I have prepared for retirement.
Retirement at 50?
Well, like getting there, like you don't want to be hustling the way you're hustling now in your 50s. Granted, I don't think there's going to be retirement in the future.
Okay.
And there are some careers you cannot retire out of.
Which you have one.
Which I have one, which I want to continue like that. But in terms of retirement, I mean, like now I work because there are bills that have to be paid. So even though I want to stretch my leg on some days, I'm like, bills have to be paid. But I like to get to a point where it's just like I'm doing it for the plot, like just doing it because I just want to do it. If I don't have to do it, I don't have to do it. So I would like to get to that point, and I hope that's what I will be experiencing in my late 40s and
From your
50s.
lips to God's ears.
Yes, so God, please.
And what about 60?
Oh, 60. How old will my children be? Should I be expecting grandchildren?
Your children
my
will
60s.
be...
If one is 10 now. Oh, yeah. So we should be doing Owambe. We should be planning parties.
That's what success looks like to you.
We should be planning lots of parties. We should be doing amugwas across the globe. And we should just be enjoying life, traveling at whim and eating whatever you fancy. Yeah.
How would you want your children to describe you at that point in your life?
My children, I want them to still like me and to still be friends with me, because these days I'm seeing people cutting off their parents. What's this thing? No contact.
No contact.
And I'm like...
You spend too much time on TikTok. She said no contact.
I'm like, what is this one? Yeah. So like, a lot of, like, when it comes to parenting, parents make mistakes and all that. But I hope I don't make a lot of mistakes, and I hope I don't make big mistakes that my children are going to be like, this woman, this was not the mother for me. I want them to be able to say, the only reason I could achieve what I could achieve is because this was the mother God gave me. Like, because of her, she put me on the right path. And then I want us to still be friends, still be able to gist. Like, I speak to my parents, I think almost every day.
Wow.
Sometimes morning, midnight, in the afternoon. And it's just random conversations. Sometimes nobody's talking. The video is just on, and we're just busy with each other there.
Keeping each other company.
Keeping each other company. And so, yeah, I'll still like to be very involved in their lives. Yeah.
What, from your upbringing, what would you say that your parents did that you would like to replicate with your kids? And what would you say that they did that you absolutely don't want to replicate?
Okay, something I want to replicate is something that has been happening lately. When I was growing up, I grew up in the church. Every day I was in church, doing one thing or the other, practicing, doing in one group. So let's just say I grew up as a very churchy girl. And now I noticed that when I was in uni, when I'm about to make a decision, I can have that fear of God in my head, which it looked like a lot of people did not have. And even up till now, it restrains me from doing things that I feel like I could do. I have access to this, I can do this. But when you think about the reset factory, or your resetting settings, or whatever they call it, you know that that's not the right thing to do. So I love that I had that kind of childhood, because it's kind of like a compass for me now. When I want to make a decision, I make it based on that. And I hope it's something I can give to my children, because I did a video saying for the past 3 years, we haven't been to church. Exactly.
I mean, don't. I'm not even Christian, so don't. I think I'm more surprised that you did the video.
Because I felt like I had to do this
Call
video.
yourself out.
Yes, I had to do this video, because if you ask my teachers growing up, they were like, I would never believe you'd be that kind of person. That you didn't even go to church. Your children don't know what church looks like. They don't know what offering money is. They don't know nothing. Yeah. So that's something I like that my parents did. They were committed in that aspect, and I would like to be able to give my children that, because sometimes when they're out there in the world, maybe they've forgotten what mommy said. At least remember what God said you should do. Okay. So, but in terms of what my parents did that I don't want to replicate, I don't know. They were strict though. They were very strict.
Doesn't sound like you are. Like, you made a point about letting your daughter be more like vocal.
It's always shocking. They were very strict, and I feel like maybe the strictness constrains me a bit. I would have been more expressive with my passions. You know, maybe that's why I'm shy, because I just feel like I don't want to talk to people because I'm not supposed to talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was growing up,
That's what
that
I
was a
thinking.
thing.
Like you were more, you'd probably be more audacious.
Yes, I'll be more, see that audacity.
Yeah.
Maybe it was kicked out of me early, so I ended up just going into myself. So I would like to see it differently for my kids, but then I don't know what the repercussion of that audacity is. So
That's
because on
wonderful.
some days when my kids are calling me out, I'm like, hey, why are you saying this now? In those days, you dare not say this to me. You cannot say this to your mother. But now they do all those things.
How do you navigate them interacting with other adults that way?
Okay, so I went for a meeting one day and my son was just talking to the administrator, like just talking. This is something I would never do. If you see me somewhere, I would never even sit down with someone older than me, like talking. I just sit down and watch what's going on. So I was so impressed. I was like, wow, you're not afraid that this is your senior. You're just talking, just asking questions. And all of them are like that. They can talk to anybody. But I'm like...
But do they ever get like... You know, there's like an informality that's fine with your mom.
Yeah.
Do they ever do that with other adults?
I'm trying to caution them now. Like, you can't just talk to everybody like this. There has to be some restraints. But that's something you keep doing. You keep doing over time, and hopefully one day they will get it. Okay. But for now, I'm just like, I want them to be audacious, to think that there's so much that... Yeah, like don't be scared to talk to people. They won't, hopefully they won't bite.
Hopefully, in 2025, anything is possible.
Hopefully they won't bite. Don't be scared of approaching people and all that. Yeah. I think that would be maybe something different. But yeah, parents did it back then because that's what everybody was doing. But now we're in the era of gentle parenting. Everybody is nice.
Are you a gentle parent?
Nah.
Okay.
I think I'm in between. I try to, like I said, when I look at some of my kids, at least the ones that are expressive now, that they are showing their character, I'm like, okay, I can see it's like you're like me. When I was this age, when I used to behave like this, I used to wish maybe my parents understood this part. Okay, so let me try to be that for you now, to be more understanding of why you are behaving like this, because I understand it because I was that person, right? My daughter is always like, it's not fair, it's not fair. And this is something my dad always says. Yemmie is always thinking how life is not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's not fair kind of.
Are you a middle child?
No.
Okay.
I'm the first.
Oh, okay. Yeah, life is unfair for you too.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm always trying to have balance. I'm always all about equality. Let everything be fair. If you give to this, you should give to that. Yeah. Like, I could have been a lawyer because I'm always fighting for justice in my house. So one of my kids is like that as well. So I'm like, okay, let me tell you things that help me. Life is not fair, my dear. So you have to... So I'm just giving her tips that will help her, because I can say she's really struggling with why things are like this and why life is not ideal. Yeah. You wish this is what it was, but people are not like this and situations are not like this. You just have to learn to accept and find a way to blend in so that you don't make it such a big deal. Yeah.
Would you say, or to what degree would you say that marriage and motherhood have changed who you are?
Changed. I don't know if it's changed or it just shows what I actually really am. So I feel like marriage will bring out your real character. You can be like, I'm a gentle girl. I don't speak up. You will see yourself.
I've never pretended to be a gentle girl.
Exactly. You will see yourself displaying characters that you're like, okay, is this my true nature or did somebody put this on me now? So yeah, I feel like marriage brings out your true character. And that is why when people say, oh, I know my sister, she can never do that. Huh? Are you sure? I know my brother, he can never do that. You can live with your brother for 50 years and they are married for 1 year. That wife knows more about your brother than you, right? So I think it just reveals who you really are,
What
because
has it revealed about you?
I like to be right, because I am always right. I am the first child, first daughter.
Oh, I saw
we are
that.
always right.
Yes, I saw
Remember?
that. Yes, I saw
so I like to make my voice heard. I am always right. I want it my way. It's an advantage when it becomes okay in my business, because I want it my way, because I am someone that just moves forward with a decision. I don't like to ask people before I make decisions. I can wake up in the middle of the night and be like, this is what I'm doing tomorrow, and this is what I'm doing tomorrow. Don't disturb, don't question me. I don't like to be questioned.
I'm not questioned.
But then when you're married, it's like you have to rub minds and be like, yo, 8 a.m. tomorrow.
What is the age difference between you and your husband? I'll tell you why I'm asking, but tell me first.
I think it's 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the reason why I ask is because I feel like millennials who are born a lot closer to the 80s,
yeah,
the early, like to the 70s even,
yeah,
are at this cross, like what's it called? Like a
intersection.
At this intersection,
yeah,
of Gen X and millennials.
Yeah.
And when you're raised in Nigeria, where just based on the values you're raised with, the maybe not as much technology as there are many ways in which you actually fall into being Gen X.
Yeah.
And so if you're married to someone who is proper Gen X, it's like 1 second you're a millennial, and you're like, what's this person saying to me? Like, why don't you understand this? And then the next second, it's like, okay, no, we're both on the same page about this. You know. So does that happen to you?
It does. My husband is a bit different from me. Like I said, I tend to be a bit social sometimes, but he's very reserved. And maybe that's how I got into this career, because he was like, you spend so much time online. It's a pity you're not making money from this. You're not getting paid to tweet. And I was like, ding, ding.
Yeah.
I should get paid to tweet. I should get paid to create content. I'm going that direction. So yeah, we're different in terms of, like you said, our personalities, and sometimes he can relate, but sometimes he cannot get it. And me too, I'm like.
How long have you been married?
I would say 11 years, yeah.
And what would you say is the biggest success factor in your marriage so far?
God.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Really?
Because if we had to do our own will, everybody would be doing something different. So you just have to think about
so
God.
God as a moral compass.
Yes. You think, what would Jesus do in this situation? Yeah.
WWG.
Exactly. So for me, it's just the God factor, because everybody has their own, I want to do this, I want to do that. But when you think about the God factor, the purpose of a family, when you think about the children, you tend to make the right decision.
To what degree do you believe that your partner influences the outcomes in your life?
If you're a woman, to a large degree, a woman in Nigeria, in Africa, a large degree. But you have to be, the way I look at it these days is you have to be first an individual before you get married. So you have to know yourself before you get married, so that you don't fall into a trap where it's like you don't know yourself now when you're married, because now someone else has a say in the way things go. So I think that's what works, because once you're married like this and you have to start making decisions with somebody else, they can be good decisions, they can be bad decisions.
There can be decisions that are in that person's interest, but not necessarily yours.
Not necessarily yours. And you cannot deny that sometimes everybody has their own agenda, right? That's why I said you have to be an individual first. You have to know yourself before you get into marriage, so that you marry somebody that has your interest, and you will know if they have your interest, if you already know who you are and what you want and what you like and what you want to do. Perchance you find yourself in the wrong boat. I don't know.
Actually, I want to know more about your support system. So do you, because let me give context for my question, right? I feel like, and that's really why we're having this conversation. I feel like it's almost impossible for a woman to be successful if she doesn't have an enabling environment around her, whether it's her parents, her partner, her siblings. Because like we've talked about, there are a lot of people who don't think that women should aspire too much. So what role has your support system played for you?
You need support. If not, you'll suffer. You will not be able to, if you have dreams, you may not be able to achieve them, or they will take longer, or you'll be frustrated in the process. And for some people, they find it difficult to ask for help. For a long time, I was like that, but you need help. There are some things you can outsource. There are some things you can delegate. And there are some things you can say, in fact, I'm not even doing because this is not the right time to do it. Support system is extremely important. Enabling environment is extremely important. For someone like me, that I work with my mood. If the mood is not right, we're not working, and that can affect my productivity. So it is very important for everybody to be on board. If, let's say, for example, if mama wants to film, everybody knows what to do. Disappear. I don't want to hear noise. These are the things you have to do to make sure that I can be able to do the things I want to do and achieve my own goals. If I don't achieve my own goals, I will not be happy. If I am not happy, nobody's happy. So let's all play fair.
Let's play fair. I love that you just, let's play fair.
Let's play fair.
I'm a person too.
Exactly. You don't need to erase me or erase my work to be able to stand out. So let's
accommodate each other.
Exactly. Sometimes what is good for the goose is good for the gander.
Exactly.
That's the way I look at it. Like, let's just be fair. Like, when you think about it, I think I was having a conversation with someone, and the person was like, you women these days, you are so distracted. Social media is distracting you. Our mothers, they were focused on their families and all this. They are not caring about all these careers that at the end of the day, what's your career going to do for you? And I'm just like, if you get fulfillment from your career, why do you think she wouldn't? Like, do you think it is normal? Like, just plain conversation. Do you think it is normal that I've been raised by, let's say, my father, and even though he didn't say he was raising me up in a feminist way or to be independent, he did, right? He gave you agency and all that. Do you think it's normal I grew up to be maybe 20-something before I got married, and suddenly it looks like my life will be erased because I got married? Like, I don't think it's normal if you want to think about it logically. Like, you can't just not be who you are.
You can't be a person. You can't turn someone, a whole human being,
into something,
an appendage
of
another person.
So I'm just like, those people, wherever I'm coming from, I came with my own ideas, my beliefs, my hopes, my dreams, what I want to achieve. So if I have those things and you have those things, why does one person's own need to be erased?
Absolutely.
And that's why and it just leads to bigger conversation of why a lot of, let's say, the older moms are very resentful. They are mean to their maybe daughter-in-laws, because sometimes they see that this one's getting to enjoy the things I didn't enjoy. She's more independent. Like, the beef is there. And that's because they didn't have that opportunity that the younger ladies have now. And it's even the same for me. What I have now, or what the younger ones coming have now, maybe I didn't have some of it as well. So it just makes you a whole person if you are able to live life the way you're supposed to, than always trying to bend and fold and just be what other people want you to be. I don't know. I just feel like everybody flourishes when mommy flourishes.
Oh yeah.
Like when a woman is doing well, everybody does well. That's the way I see it.
I say to people that the greatest lottery you can win in life is having a successful mother.
See,
Because your mother thinks of you as an extension of herself.
Yeah.
Like, you and her are like one and the same.
Yeah.
And that thing is life changing. People are enjoying life the most. Their moms are bothered.
Yes. I feel like when you get into a home where the mother has a say, where she's flourishing, you can always tell with the children.
Absolutely.
Of those kind of parents or those kind of moms.
A lot of men have a lot of issues with toxic masculinity, and they have a lot to unpack as men.
Yeah.
I think that a whole, like at least a whole generation, like time frame of a generation has been spent on telling women that they can do everything, they can be everything.
And they somehow
no one is talking to men.
Yeah.
No one is telling
But when
them.
you say nobody is talking to men, I feel like they should is women talking to women, right?
Absolutely.
I feel like men should be talking to men as well. Like,
I agree.
so it's not like women cutting off men. Like, it's not, the ball is not in the woman's court now
not.
to, let's say, educate those men. So we need more positive role models for men
amongst themselves.
And I see the need for it all the time, but I feel like a lot of them are just like, I don't need help. I don't need anything, but
I think they're stuck. I honestly think they're stuck. I think they, like, again, to like what I'm saying about women have been prepared for today.
Yes.
They haven't been prepared for today.
Yes.
And so they're pushing back.
Yes.
And
like
it's
expected.
Throwing a tantrum.
It is expected because, and you can see it in the conversations, like when you see someone saying, my mother did this, my mother sacrificed her life. The son can be saying that, but the daughter is like, my mom hated her life. She hated doing this. She hated doing that. So the boy has a different opinion. The girl has a different of the same mother.
Yeah.
So
well, I have a question for you. Why aren't women talking to their sons?
Maybe because of the way women view their sons. You know how sometimes a lot of women look at their sons like maybe an extension of a husband or something. I'm just trying to imagine that's what some of them do because of the attachment they have or the way they make it look like your sons are your princes and your, like we've seen situations where they pamper boys over girls, and I think maybe that's the way women treat their sons, like an extension of their husbands.
That sounds like
I don't know. I feel like that's what.
No, it's plausible. It just sounds like
which is why they feel like if their sons even have wives, it's like the wife is taking the attention from. Like the attention does not belong to you, right? So it's like a competition.
There's like a whole boy mom thing online.
Even
like
boy
people
mom
are just like boy moms are so
it's a lot, and I do get it.
Ultimately, I mean, I think we can
someone that has a lot of daughters.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because when I started, I had one boy.
Yeah.
We were like, you have to balance it with a girl. I had a girl, and they're like, I need another boy. But I had another girl. And they're like, this is off balance. Now you need another boy to make it 2 girls. And I came with 2 more girls, and they're like,
oops.
So the treatment has been different from in the beginning. It was like, yeah, you had a boy. And when you have the first girl, it's like, okay, you need a girl. By the third girl, it's like, the way they treat you is different.
Interesting.
And then now with 4 girls, it's like, wow.
So you were treated better because you had a son?
Yeah, I noticed it. So I tell my sister that this is so interesting that people said my life was perfect when I had 1 boy and 1 girl. But when I had 2 girls and 1 boy, my life was no longer perfect. Wow. And then when I had 4 girls, it was like, your life don't spoil finish.
Wow.
So I'm just like, okay, there's a lot of things that people need to unpack because it is still the same me. The boy is still there. The girl is still there. Just that there are more girls now. So in this society we live in, like when they say, they're like, maybe you can still go for one more so that you can have that boy. I'm like, really? The one I've done is not enough? What? So the conversations I hear now, or the comments I hear now, is just like, when I think of it, I'm like, how did we get to this point that this is the conversation we're having? Like, oh, you are a mom of girls. My mom had 3 girls. So they're like, wow, your mom had 3 girls. You had to do one extra. And I know how growing up with more girls in the house, like how people, maybe extended family members, how they treat girls, how people feel like you shouldn't invest in girls, don't send them to expensive schools, don't do this, because at the end of the day they still got married, and whatever the degree they have, they use it in the kitchen, stuff like that. And I know how that is. So now that I'm in that same position, I'm like, wow, it's interesting that I still got to the same position, right? And navigating it, comments from people, even online, especially because I have that community now, is like, you have too many girls, you have to, what are you going to do? And I'm just like, that's another conversation.
So crazy to me.
It is.
Daughters are phenomenal.
They are.
I'm sure having a son is amazing as well.
It is.
Daughters, I have a daughter, and
like both of them are great, and I don't see why people try to say, oh, even now we're getting to this point where it's going to be like, people are going to start doing what they do to boys, like, oh, daughters are better than boys. Do you get? We're getting to that extreme part now, and I'm just like, both are fine.
Leave my children alone.
Just leave them alone. Boys are not better than girls, and girls are not better than boys. Children are children. But
women are better than men. For now. Boys and girls are equal.
Yeah, but they're all the same.
We need to make sure that
we don't get to that point
men
where
and women become
where everything is balanced. And I don't know if we can ever get there.
I think we can. It'll just take forever.
Yeah,
because people are regressing at the moment.
It's crazy.
So.
It's crazy, especially in the online space. I don't know if this is how it is because sometimes I like to be like, the online space is different from the real world, but I don't know if that's how it is in the real world. Because online people are more, they can say what they want to say, but in real life they really can't come to you face to face to say that. So maybe people are thinking it, but they're not saying it.
But the thoughts are just as dangerous.
Yeah,
the thoughts are just as dangerous.
Yeah.
And these are people that make up other people's support systems. And so if you have people thinking like that in your support system,
yes,
it's not ideal.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So in all this that you do, like we've talked about so many things, do you have time for friends?
Oh, okay, that's an interesting because there was a time I was like, I need friends. I do need a community, right? I will call it friendship, but I cannot have a bestie friend, like where you do everything together, you make decisions together, because it has never worked for me in the past. I cannot be part of a group also.
I don't like group friendships.
Because it's just somehow we have to have a leader, we have to have a supporter. I'm not in that place in my life where I can be in a group. I can be a confidant. I can be a support. Like I can talk to my friend like once a week, catch up and all that. But like, I don't know if when you get busy with life, if you are able to, I know some people still do it, but in reality, I don't know if it really works, because I don't know how you divide your attention.
Yeah. How long would you say is your longest term friendship?
Maybe 20 years. Is that NYC? I don't know, is it up to 20 years?
Yeah.
Maybe 15.
NYC is like 20.
I have people that have not. Okay, the problem I usually have is when I'm on good terms with somebody, in my head, you are my friend. Like, you are my friend. Yeah. But you know how people categorize it? You are my work colleague. Yeah. You are my acquaintance. And I usually have that problem because I'm like, if I like somebody, I like somebody. Whether you're my work person or you're an acquaintance. I like you, right? So I usually have a problem with when people categorize, because I've been in situations where in my head I'm thinking, yeah, this person is my friend, but the person is thinking, I know her from work. Do you get? I know her from work, so that's how we know each other. So I try to, I think I'm mostly by myself. When I catch up with my friends, we catch up, but there are some friends I see once a year. Some, you know, when you're online, you feel like you feel like you have seen each other.
Yeah.
You see updates. You probably know what I had for breakfast.
Yeah.
So you feel like you know what's happening in my life, even though we've not seen each other in maybe 2 years. So when it comes to friendship, I'm someone that likes friends, but I just feel it can get complicated. I can get jealous. If I had a bestie and my bestie had another bestie, we're going to have a problem. So that's why it's difficult to be in those kind of relationships. But I can just be like a general good friend. Yes, I can be a good general friend. But on some days I crave for those relationships where they're like, oh, me and my girlfriends, we took a trip together. Oh, we're meeting. I really like it and I crave it. And I'm hoping I might find it, hopefully, soon. Because I would like to have like a female community of women that we feel like we're each other's besties. It's just from experience, it's not really fun, but I feel like I would like to try again. I feel like friendship is kind of like a relationship, right? So it has to be somebody or people that are trustworthy, that understand
the circumstances of your life.
Exactly. They are maybe kind of on the same path or something else. But yeah, friendship I take it so seriously.
Yeah.
It's always too deep for me.
Yeah. So at what point, you know, as a woman, do you think that we should transition from seeking mentorship to giving it?
That's a very good question. Because there was a time I was seeking mentorship, and even till now I feel like I'm still seeking mentorship. But it's kind of like when you say, at what point do you know like you're now the grown up? Like last year the kids were like, we're so bored, what are we doing for Christmas? And me and my sister were like, yeah, we're bored too. But I was like, wait, they're depending on us. We're the adults. We are the mommies and daddies of those days. Like when we think about parents, it is us. So it is up to us. And then for me, I was trying to make that transition in my head. Like, you're not a girl anymore, you are a woman. And if you're a woman, these are the things they're expecting from you, to mentor people. And I'm like, I'm just a girl, please. I need mentorship too. Well, yeah, I don't think there's any age where you don't need mentorship.
Oh no, so I'm not necessarily saying that you have to stop receiving, but you should
at what
you should be looking to give more so than receiving for yourself.
I feel like I think I'm kind of there right now in giving. Yes, I'm at that point now, because
so 40.
See, this is the age where everybody believes you're serious, you know what you're doing. So yes, I'm at that stage now where I can give advice. I can do marriage masterclass.
Ooh, well,
Abi,
see, 10
years it's not beans. I can do marriage masterclass.
Especially if it's 10 good years.
I can do mommy masterclass. So there's so many things I can do, and I can mentor at this point. Yeah.
If you weren't doing what you were doing right now, what would you be doing?
Like, I had a choice in the matter. I don't know. I feel like I'll be like a billionaire somewhere.
It's not a career. No.
It's not a career. Oh, okay. If I wasn't doing this, I feel like I'll be doing this. If there was no social media, I'll probably be working in a more like in a BBC or CNN.
Okay.
Or
as a journalist?
Yeah, as a journalist, maybe with a magazine. That was my dream growing up. Like I wanted to be a features writer for magazines and all that. So I'll probably be doing that. So it's just the mediums that are different. Yeah. If I had a choice in the matter, but I feel like I'm still doing the same thing. It's still similar to what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
Just different names.
Sisi, Yemmie, thank you.
Thank you
so much
for
spending time with me and chatting with me today.
Thank you.
This has been very interesting and enlightening.
Same here. Even it's good to hear my answers because I'm like, this is how you're thinking. Okay. Yeah. It was great.
Yay.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.